thoughts and opinions on each one. It was a very, very good game week this week. Lots of storyline, lots of goals, lots of talking points. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So we start off. We had some Friday action. First time in a while. We had Leicester 1, Nottingham Forest 3. Goals from Jamie Vardy, Ryan Yates, and a double for Chris Wood. Yeah, I mean, Chris Wood, the absolute GOAT. This guy's, he's on fire. That first goal in particular was absolutely insane. And Forest pick up a huge win, going up to, I think they're in 6th spot now, but they were in 5th before, oops. Forest are flying right now. A bit of a surprise package. I think most people, I was one of them, thought Forest would be fine this season, but I don't think anyone expected them to, do amazing. But they've been so good. Thoroughly deserve this victory. Look at 20 shots, 5 on target. I thought Hudson-Odoi absolutely cooked in this game. He was amazing. Yeah, overall just a wonderful display by Nottingham Forest to get a win over their rivals Leicester, and as I said, are flying in the table right now. Leicester though, I mean, the second half in particular was absolutely abysmal. I mean, on a positive note, Jamie Vardy did manage to score again. This guy, despite Leicester being pretty woeful this season, has managed to get some goals. Fair play to him. But the second half was so bad. And I mean, look at that one shot on target, which was their goal the whole game. Isn't really good enough from a Leicester perspective. And also for individual errors, it's going to feel even more annoying about this result that they could have actually prevented 2 of the 3 Forest goals. The Ryan Yates one, Buonanotte, completely his fault for trying to dribble out in his own area, loses it, Yates scores. And I mean, the third goal is comical, but with Wout Weiss, also Caleb Akoli, so bad. Awful defending from both of them, and yeah, individual errors really cost Leicester in this one. So, Leicester, things are not going too well for them. As I said, I've said this whole season, they've been getting points on the board, but I think their performances have been really bad, and this was a really bad performance, and they got undone, so not good for them, but huge result for Forest. Next up, we have Villa 1, Bournemouth 1, goals from Ross Barkley and Evan Nilsson. A late 96th minute equaliser in this game, giving Bournemouth a point. Huge point for Bournemouth in this one. Going to Villa Park. Villa Park is one of the most difficult places to go in the Prem. And yeah, Bournemouth come away with a point, which is really good, building on that win against Arsenal in their last game. But I thought really they have their goalkeeper to thank. Mark Travers came in, absolutely incredible. Kepa was injured for this game, and Mark Travers came in, and to be honest, I feel like Mark Travers kind of deserves to start, even if Kepa is bad based on that performance, because he was insane. The saves he was pulling off were so good, and he kept Bournemouth in the game for so long. And then Bournemouth, Evan Nilsson, I'm so happy for him. I think, is that his first goal? I think that is his first goal, right? For Bournemouth. But even if it isn't, so important for him, for his confidence. Didn't start this game, coming off the bench, scoring an equaliser, last ditch like that. Great for his confidence, so well done to him. And yeah, Bournemouth, to be honest, probably should have had 2 penalties in this game. Anton Semenyo somehow got put for diving, even though Matty Cash clearly took him out. And then there was a potential handball on Leon Bailey too, so Bournemouth, you could argue they were lucky that they scored that late winner, but equaliser, but you can also say, well, they were kind of robbed anyway, that they should have got penalties, so good result for them. But for Villa, really poor, really poor game management in this one. They just couldn't kill the game off. They had chance after chance, didn't put them away. As I said, Mark Travers was great, but from a Villa perspective, you got to put those in the back of the net. And I also thought, towards the end of the game, they couldn't really keep hold of the ball for too long, and that sort of allowed Bournemouth back into the game a little bit to pile on a bit of pressure, and then silly fouls given away. With that Barkley one, they're giving the foul away. There was like loads of yellow cards as well in this game, but yeah, really disappointing. Villa, I think, have chucked away 2 points. If they want to qualify for the Champions League again, games like this at home, where you dominate Bournemouth like this, you got to be winning. So they're going to be disappointed about that one. Next up, we have Brentford 4, Ipswich 3. Got on Johan Wieser, Harry Clark on goal, 2 from Brighton and Bournemouth, Sammy Smosticks, George Hurst, Liam Delap, and a red card in this one for Harry Clark. This was maybe the game of the season, probably insane, absolutely insane. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to at the end of the video my worst player of the week, but I think it's pretty clear because this was like an all-timer in terms of horrible performances from Harry Clark. The poor fella comes into the side, gets a red card, scores an own goal and concedes a penalty. Can you actually get a worse performance than that? I don't know if it's physically possible. I really don't. But I mean, besides that, what an amazing game. So many twists, so many turns, so many goals. And I mean, Brentford, these guys are by far and away the most entertaining team in the league. It's not even close. Almost every single game they've been in this season has been so entertaining. I'm pretty sure last week I literally said the same thing about them against Wolves being the game this season so far, and now they've gone ahead and do it again. They're just so fun to watch. The way they've been playing is amazing. Brighton keeps on scoring a 96-minute winner. Ipswich almost equalised as well. That's how crazy this game was. Delap hit the post towards the end. I mean, that goal from Brighton, I don't know what on earth happened there with Muric, the goalie, but yeah, really well done to Brentford winning this one. I mean, Ipswich can be really disappointed because they had 10 men and give it a real good go against Brentford. Brentford away is actually a really tough place to go and win, so I don't think I'd be too annoyed about this one. But yeah, what a fantastic game as a neutral. Really enjoyed that one. Next up we have Brighton 2, Wolves 2. Another game I really enjoyed. Goals from Danny Welbeck, Evan Ferguson, Rayanit Nura, and Matthias Cunha. An insane ending to this game. Brighton 2-0 up in the 88th minute and Wolves go ahead and get a point. Insane. And the way they did it, mental. Maybe the assist of the season. By Tommy Doyle. Brighton somehow had a 1v4 in attack. I don't know how Wolves had one player back, and it was Tommy Doyle, and they messed it up. Tommy Doyle intercepts the ball, plays a fantastic pass out to Matthias Cunha to set him off, who goes ahead and scores to equalise. Like, unbelievable from Tommy Doyle. Unbelievable. Well done to him. But I mean, Matt's FIFA, he was a man who messed up. This guy, that's criminal. That is a criminal offence. This guy should be jailed for that. A 1v4 and you mess up the pass. Are you kidding me? And then they go ahead and score. Like, just terminate his contract at that point. Just terminate his contract, because that is horrible. That is horrible. But look, what a point for Wolves, especially the way they've done it. Incredible fighting till the end. And yeah, well done to them, because Brighton away is a tough place. Brighton have been good this season, so Wolves keep on fighting. Get a point. It's not a win. They still so well done to them. I mean, Brighton, though, from their perspective, is really criminal. It's criminal to lose this one. You can't be 2-0 up in the 88th minute and not win the game. You simply can't let that happen. Yeah, really, really poor from their perspective. I mean, Danny Welbeck, though, keeps on scoring. This guy's on fire. Evan Ferguson also finally got on the score sheet yet again. After being not scoring for a very long time, so that was good. But this is clearly 2 points dropped from Brighton. He'll be very, very annoyed about that. Next up, Manchester City 1, Southampton 0. Goal from Erling Haaland. Yeah, I mean, Manchester City, it was kind of routine victory, but they really should have scored a lot more. Should have been a lot more comfortable. They really failed to kill this game off, and they almost did get punished for it. They had chance after chance, and in particular, actually, Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland was really, really wasteful. Really, really wasteful in this game. He had chance after chance after chance and did not put them in the back of the net. You know, he's not had the best of spells right now. I mean, he did sort of break his mini drought scoring in this game, but yeah, I mean, he isn't looking his most clinical self right now. But I mean, Manchester City created more than enough chance to win this game. But I think this is something in general that they do need to be a little bit more ruthless, because Southampton had some chances. Southampton did have some chances, but that sort of final third, that final pass was just off for Southampton. And their decision making was a bit poor, but they were really cutting through Manchester City quite easily on the counter attack. Obviously, with no Rodri there, Kovacic is having quite a few times this season, I think. Sort of been cut open through the middle of the park on counter attacks far too easily. Happened again this game, and you know, on another day of Southampton, a little bit more ruthless in attack, potentially could nick a point here. So I think City got the job done, but one, they need to be a lot more ruthless in front of goal and kill games off. But two, they also need to try and sort out this midfield dynamic and be a little bit less easy to cut through and get through that midfield. From a Southampton perspective, I mean, great performance. It's really a free hit going away to the Etihad, probably your hardest game of the season, so to only lose 1-0, and as I said, with some better decision making, better final third decisions, better passes in the end, could have potentially nicked a point there. So I think Russell Martin will be very pleased about that. And ironically, that performance I think has actually given him a bit of confidence and sort of eased a little bit of pressure on Russell Martin, because you know, I've had a lot of doubts about them so far this season, but this is definitely an encouraging performance by them, so well done to them. Next up we have Everton 1, Fulham 1, goal from Beto and Alex Iwobi. Yeah, this was kind of a typical game, I would say. Like, I could really see this coming. Based on how these teams have played. Fulham play well for most of the game and then allow teams to get back into the game once they have a lead, and don't manage to see out games and concede late. Been doing that regularly this season, and Everton, just sort of lumping the ball up forward, being far too passive, and then once teams score against them, then they actually try and go for it a bit and manage to score. Fulham, as I said, poor game management in this one. Look, they deserved a victory. They were definitely the better side in this one. I thought Jimenez and Adama Traore in particular were really, really good down the right hand side. It caused a lot of problems, and then when Nelson came on, it was really good, causing problems down the left. The goal, Alex Iwobi's goal, was really, really nice. Incredible work by Smith Rowe, and also Iwobi, great little finish from him. But as I said, they didn't kill the game off, and then in the last 10 minutes they just allowed so much pressure and allowed Everton to get back into the game. And I was like, once once I saw it, I was like, I know we're gonna score. They're gonna score. Like Fulham, have you not learned your lesson? Like you've done this multiple times this season. Conceding late against Manchester United, conceding late versus Leicester, conceding late versus someone else as well, but I can't remember. But Fulham, allowing Everton to get back into the game, allowing Everton to get on the ball a bit more. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they didn't just go for it still. And yeah, they dropped 2 points there. They really did. They really did. But Everton, I thought Everton, as I said again, were very, very passive, far too passive. Really disappointing, considering that, they're at home against Fulham, who Fulham are a good side, but I would say, at home Everton, that's a side where they can really go for them, be a bit more expressive attacking, but they just didn't do that at all. It was literally just lump the ball forward, that was all they did. They weren't trying to keep possession at all, and they really struggled to keep the ball. Deal the crosses down the right hand side, as I mentioned, from Adama Traore. They're getting cooked on those wide areas, but once Fulham sort of allowed them back in the game, Everton started piling on that pressure, getting the balls in the box, and I mean aerially they're just so dominant. I mean Michael Keane went up front, which was hilarious to see. Hilarious. That was like a pure Barclays moment. That him and Beto up top, and then Beto managed to get the goal, which is great, salvage a point, but I think the performance was pretty bad from Everton, to be honest. So not a great performance, but at least they got the point. Next up, we have Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. The goals from Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer, and Alexander Isak. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are so back. We are so back. Look, I hate to say it, but we're winning the league. We're in the title race. We are winning the league. On form. We are one of the best teams in the world. I'm sorry. Okay, look. Let me be serious now. It wasn't the best performance we had this season, but this is kind of what I actually hoped. A game this season where we weren't really playing too well. We were okay, but maybe not our best, and we managed to get the win. Because that's what this game was, and that showed a little bit of a different side to this Chelsea team. Cole Palmer, easily the best player in the Premier League right now, no question. That pass to Pedro Neto was ridiculous. And then his finish as well for his goal, again, beautiful. He is just amazing. He's unstoppable. He's actually unstoppable. But I also thought players like Caicedo and Lavia in the midfield were fantastic. Caicedo, honestly, I think is becoming now one of the most underrated players in the Prem. I think a lot of rivals, just because of the price tag, are sort of disregarding him, but he has genuinely been arguably the best midfielder in the Premier League this season. Caicedo has been absolutely unbelievable. I feel like no rivals really talk about that outside of Chelsea fans, but he's been amazing. He's kept up again. Jackson as well. Again, people don't really want to talk about, but Jackson, his improvement from this season compared to last, unbelievable. I'm not sure how many goals he's on, but he has got a lot of goals. He's not really missing big chances that much anymore. He looks far more composed in front of goal, and his overall play is just so good. Jackson is slowly becoming one of the better strikers in this division. Reece James as well, I thought was really good in this game. Malo Gusto now. Reece James actually played in the left back role, and held his own. But for me, I thought Malo Gusto wasn't the best. I personally would like to see Cucurella back into this side, and Reece James go back to right back. Now, as much as I'm happy with this result and the performance, the defence is still a bit worrying, particularly Sanchez, because on another day Sanchez really could have cost us. Got completely outdone. Him and Fofana, calamity at the back for Alexander Isak, who really should have buried that chance, went round the keeper, and I mean that is criminal what he did there. Cut back in, Sanchez's distribution was not the best in this game. But that being said, as I mentioned earlier, super happy about this. That Newcastle's a tough team to play. I feel like last season we probably draw or even lose this game, so I'm really happy about this result and this performance. I'm really happy about Chelsea right now. This is the first time I've been really positive about us in a very long time, so it's refreshing. From a Newcastle perspective though, oh boy, that wasn't great. Really disappointing defeat. Should have got something. Alexander Isak, I mean, it was good for him to get on the score sheet. He hasn't been on the score sheet in a while, but then that chance I mentioned was absolutely criminal. Also, I had no idea why Newcastle started the game playing a high line. Like, if you've watched any of Chelsea so far this season, you know we literally thrive when teams play a high line on us. We're one of the best teams out there in terms of counteracting a high line. So I don't know why Newcastle started off with that. I feel like Newcastle are actually a good side when they sort of sit off and sit deep, so don't know what that was like, and yeah, it cost them in that goal. But yeah, Newcastle disappointing defeat, really disappointing defeat, because yeah, things aren't going too well at Newcastle right now. Next up we got Crystal Palace 1, Spurs 0. Goal from Jean-Philippe Mateta. And Crystal Palace earned their first win of the season. Long awaited win. A very long awaited win. It's a big win. A clean sheet too against Spurs at home. That's a huge confidence booster and a huge weight off their shoulders to get that first victory. And it being against Spurs as well is going to be massive for them. And they thoroughly deserved it. Jean-Philippe Mateta back on the score sheet. Hasn't scored in a long time, so good for him. I thought Maxime Lacroix had a fantastic game in this one. And as I said, Palace definitely deserved it. Palace created lots of chances in this one. And you know, on another day, could have scored 2 or 3 actually. They were really good in this game. I thought you know, Eze was good. Could have potentially had a penalty too. Yeah, overall just a really good game for Palace and a huge victory for them, as I said, to lift that weight off their shoulders for getting that first victory. From a Spurs perspective though, this was an absolute disaster. A defensive disaster class. All of these defenders can hold their heads in shame because that was horrible. Some of the defending on display in that game was abysmal, absolutely abysmal, from Spurs. So poor, so easy to cut open, and yeah, just really poor from Spurs. And then same thing that's happened all season, where when they do great chances as well, do not take them at all. So ways from front of goal. They had some chances in this one, did not take them. These attackers, did not take them, and then the defence at the back just completely crumbled, and got exposed far too easily. Really poor defeat for Spurs. Really poor defeat. I feel like literally Spurs are just it's one extreme or the other. They're either extremely bad, like in this game, or they're really good. There's been no in between this season. There's been no in between. So it must be really frustrating if you're a Spurs fan, but a great win for Palace. Next up, we have West Ham 2, Man United 1, goals from Crescencio Somerville, Sharon Byrne and Casemiro. Now this was interesting because these are two teams who went into this really struggling this season for form. Both teams really needed a victory, and it ended in very controversial fashion. Now, a lot of talk about this Sharon Byrne penalty decision. Was it a penalty? Was it not? Foul from Delit on Danny Ings. Look, personally, I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, maybe a pen. I would say maybe it's probably not a pen, but I wouldn't say it's like an absolute themselves to blame there, because the amount of chances they had and did not put them away. Criminal. 18 shots and only 5 on target. United had chance after chance after chance, time and time again this season. Awful, absolutely awful in front of goal. I mean, Diego Dalot literally missed an open goal. Garnacho again missed the sitters. Hoyland, all of these guys. Bruno, an absolute awful display. I mean, United in front of goal, very similar to Spurs actually, except what I was saying, where Spurs sometimes can be amazing. Yeah, United are never amazing. United just always waits for in front of goal. Always waits for in front of goal. And yeah, really has cost them in this game. And yeah, that's what happens when you don't take your chances. You never know what can happen. A referee can make a decision like that and cost you. So you only really have themselves to blame. And I mean, Eric Ten Hag, oh boy, it's another loss, and his job does look in some real danger now. It really does. I don't think he'll be sacked now, but we've got Chelsea next, don't they? I would not be shocked if, with a poor defeat there at home against Chelsea, if he gets his March quarters, because yeah, things are pretty rough right now. Things are pretty rough right now for United. But a fantastic win for West Ham, though. Fantastic victory for West Ham. Definitely needed ease some pressure on Julian Lopetegui, who again had some pressure on him going into this game because West Ham have been so poor this season. But that's a big win at home against United. Definitely going to buy him some time, and hopefully can actually build some confidence into this side because they definitely need it with a win like that. So yeah, well done to West Ham. Again, finally we have Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. Guys from Bukayo Saka, Miguel Marino, Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. So this was a game of two halves. First half, Arsenal definitely the better side, and deserved to be leading at half time. Saka, I mean, was absolutely ripping up Robertson, a new one, for his goal as well. Brilliant taken goal. Absolutely cooks Robertson for that. And yeah, I thought Arsenal were very, very good in that first half. Definitely deserved it. Liverpool, awful in that first half. Really poor. And unlucky that way. They're only 2-1 down in my opinion. But I think Arsenal have themselves to blame. They have themselves to blame for this, because I don't understand why Arsenal came out in the second half like trying to play for a 2-1 victory. It's like you have 45 minutes. You are the better side right now. You're on top. And you just allow Liverpool to get back into the game. I didn't understand it just sitting off like that. I know Arsenal are good when they do that. Arsenal are good when they, sit in that low block. But like, come on, you're literally on top. Surely you say, okay, we're going to keep going, we're going to keep pushing, try and kill this game, try and grab another, and then we can sit off. Because what happened is, they sat off, allowed Liverpool to slowly string some passes together, create a couple of chances, get their flow back, get back into the game. And then Liverpool grabbed that goal, which is superbly worked from Trent. Great pass into Nunes, who, fair play to Nunes, I thought, when he was in that position, he just completely messed up that pass, but he perfectly weighted it for Salah, who was never going to miss in those situations. He don't miss those. And yeah, Liverpool get the goal. As I said, it's completely Arsenal's fault to blame in my opinion, because they had Liverpool, they were on top, and then they just took their foot off the gas and were made to pay. I understand as well, like they got injury to Gabriel, so maybe can't be as expansive from that point. But still, like, come on. Honestly, it felt like they were playing with 10 men. It felt like they were playing with 10 men in those last 15 minutes. That's how defensive they were. So yeah, I think Arsenal were really disappointed that they chucked this away. I think they did. Definitely because even though they didn't play their best of football, to grab a point away at the Emirates is huge, absolutely huge. So well done to them. And yeah, some poor performances in there, like Trent, Van Dijk were not great. The whole Liverpool team were not amazing, but to win, yeah, when you're not win, but draw when you're not playing well is sign of a good team. So well done to Liverpool. But Arsenal really jumped that way, and yeah, more injury problems. Timber also went down injured. Gabriel, we'll see how long these two are out for, but yeah, the injuries are starting to rack up. It's not looking good for Arsenal. Really not looking good. Right then, so let's do a little bit of awards then for this week. So the player of the week, quite a few mentions here. Could go Cole Palmer. Could also go for Mark Travers for Bournemouth. Could go Brian Mbeumo for Brentford. Could go Chris Wood for Forest. But I'm actually I have to go for Tommy Doyle for somehow intercepting a 1v4 and then getting the assist to go ahead and get an equaliser in the 90th minute. I mean, that is crazy. So well done to Tommy Doyle. He is my player of the week. The worst player of the week, I mean, I could go Haaland for the amount of misses he had, but it kind of feels harsh considering he did score the only goal of the game. Matt's FIFA is extremely close for messing that 1v4 up, but I have to go for Harry Clark, an own goal, a red card, and conceding a penalty. You really can't have a much worse appearance than that. You really can't. Yeah, moment of the week is clear. It's that actually honourable mention to Palmer's pass. That was pretty insane. Also, Somerville taking his shirt off when he scored in the 74th minute. But yeah, I mean, FIFA messing up the 1v4 and then literally scoring it down the other end. That's got to be moment of the week. Gotta be. And the worst refereeing decision. I thought there wasn't too many awful ones, but I'm gonna give it in the Bournemouth one. I mean, take your pick on the Semenyo dive or the Bailey handball. Either one was pretty bad, but there we go. Those were my thoughts on the game week. Let me know your thoughts on all the games in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed it, please do like, consider subscribing. And I'll see